Good evening and welcome to Mid-Valley Bible Church's virtual prayer meeting. My name is Doug Hornock and I'm the pastor at Mid-Valley. I want to begin by asking you, why do you love the Lord? Chances are there are a variety of reasons, all of them no doubt good. But one of the reasons for loving God, according to the Bible, is because He hears and answers our prayers. David in Psalm 116, 1 through 2 says, I love the Lord because He has heard my voice and my pleas for mercy, because He inclined His ear to me. Therefore I will call on Him as long as I live. As you read this psalm, it's clear that David was in a life-threatening situation, and he cried out to God, and God answered his prayer by delivering him. Ronald Dunn, who was a pastor for years in Texas and has authored a number of helpful books, among them a book entitled Don't Just Stand There, Pray, tells the following story. He says, I was speaking at a banquet for a church's intercessory prayer ministry when the mother of a teenager shared a recent answer to prayer. A few days before, as she was getting a pie ready to put into the oven, the phone rang. It was the school nurse. Her son had come down with a high fever, and would she come and take him home? The mother calculated how long it would take to drive to school and back, and how long the pie should bake, and concluded there was ample time. Popping the pie into the oven, she left for school. When she arrived, her son's fever was worse, and the nurse urged her to take him to the doctor. Seeing her son like that, his face flushed, his body trembling and dripping with perspiration, upset her, and she drove to the clinic as fast as she dared. She was even more upset waiting for the doctor to emerge from the examination room. When he did so, he walked towards her with a slip of paper in his hand. Get him to bed, he told her, handing her the prescription, and start him on this right away. By the time she got the boy home and in bed and headed out again for the shopping mall, she was not only frayed, but frazzled and frantic as well. And she had forgotten about the pie in the oven. At the mall, she found a pharmacy, got the prescription filled, and rushed back to the car, which was locked. Yes, there were her keys, hanging in the ignition switch, locked inside the car. She ran back into the mall, found a phone, and called home. When her son finally answered, she blurted out, I've locked the keys inside the car. The boy was hardly able to speak. In a hoarse voice, he whispered, Get a wire coat hanger, Mom. You can get in with that. She began searching the mall for a wire coat hanger, which turned out not to be easy. Wooden hangers and plastic hangers were there in abundance, but shops didn't use wire hangers anymore. After combing through a dozen stores, she found one that was behind the times just enough to use wire hangers. Hurrying out of the mall, she allowed herself a smile of relief. As she was about to step off the curb, she halted. She stared at the wire coat hanger. I don't know what to do with this. Then she remembered the pie in the oven. All the frustrations of the past hour collapsed on her, and she began crying. Then she prayed, Dear Lord, my boy is sick and he needs this medicine. And my pie is in the oven, and the keys are locked in the car. And Lord, I don't know what to do with this coat hanger. Dear Lord, send me somebody who does know what to do with it. And I really need that person now. Amen. She was wiping her eyes when a beat-up old car pulled up to the curb and stopped in front of her. A young man, 20-ish looking, in a t-shirt and ragged jeans got out. The first thing she noticed about him was the long, stringy hair and then the beard that hid everything south of his nose. He was coming her way. When he drew near, she stepped in front of him and held out the wire coat hanger. "Young man," she said, "do you know how to get into a locked car with one of these?" He looked at her for a moment, then plucked the hanger from her hand. "Where's the car?" Telling the story that night, she said that she'd never seen anything like it. It was simply amazing how easily he got into her car. A quick look at the door and window, a couple of twists of the coat hanger, and bam! Just like that, the door was open. When she saw the door open, she threw her arms around him. "Oh," she said, "the Lord sent you. You're such a good boy. You must be a Christian." He stepped back and said, "No, ma'am, I am not a Christian, and I'm not a good boy. I just got out of prison yesterday for auto theft." She jumped at him and hugged him again fiercely. "Bless God," she cried. "He sent me a professional." Tonight, as we go to prayer, let's remember the words of David. "I love the Lord because he has heard my voice and my pleas for mercy, because he inclined his ear to me. Therefore, I will call on him as long as I live." Let's go to prayer tonight. Let's call on him because our God is ready to listen and he's ready to send his answer our way.